November 2019 is 4%, the Google Cloud Engineer certification. You employed the CEO. Can we expect Santa Claus rally? Ho ho ho! It's Damien here. I have to admit that the choices to the stocks to buy series are now much more difficult for me. I would prefer to see a correction in the market. The last 2 months were very good for stock markets, and especially to my companies. Let's quickly look at the companies I chose for September and October 2019. And then I will talk about the choices for December 2019. S&P 500 index, which is the indicator of the United States stock market, grew 2% in October and 3.4% in November. But it was an even better time for my stock market portfolio and the stocks from Stocks to Buy Now series. In October 2019, selected companies increased by 4.77%. The result for November 2019 is 4%. All chosen companies increased their stock prices. Facebook increased the most, giving us a nice profit for the last 2 months. End of September looks now like a perfect time for buying these shares. Alphabet increased less than Facebook, but I am still delighted with these gains. Alphabet is finally getting the attention it deserves. I like that Alphabet is taking more and more from cloud computing business from Microsoft and Amazon. I see among my friends working in IT that they are interested in the Google Cloud Engineer certification. Google is much more active in this market now. CD Projekt is growing like crazy with only small corrections. There are still more than 4 months left to the release of the Cyberpunk 2077 game. If you want to hear more about CD Projekt, check my previous video where I told more about the Polish game developer. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It will help reach more people and will encourage me to give you more useful content. 11-Bit Studios increased 3% during the last month. I consider the company to be still at a very attractive level. During November, I reduced my exposure to Apple company, and I bought more shares of 11-Bit Studios. I am quite happy with the size of my position in this game developer. Another change to my portfolio during November was the addition of Uber stock. I took advantage of the Uber stock being sold out because of the lock-up period expiration. In comparison with the stock price at the end of the month, the stock went down an additional 14%. Then I bought it for $26.98. My position in Uber is currently almost 10% up. The 5th company which I nominated last month was Tencent. Tencent grew healthy 4.1%, but the company is still 30% below its all-time high. There is only 1 month of the 4th quarter left. Will Donald Trump put on a Santa Claus outfit and do not interfere too much in December? Can we expect Santa Claus rally? The Santa Claus rally is Wall Street nickname for the unusual strong stock market gains typically seen during the final 5 trading days of the year and the first 2 trading days of the following year. All of my selected companies increased their stock price significantly, and they seem to be expensive now. My opinion is that they did not achieve their potential yet. It was much easier to choose Facebook after 2 months of stock price going down or 11-Bit Studios after its correction in the share price. But let's see what are the best choices now. Okay, so the first company is 11-Bit Studios. It is my second biggest gaming company in my portfolio. After the transaction from last month, my position in 11-Bit Studios increased quite significantly. Let's talk a bit more about this company. The gaming market is growing by 8.1% annually, but there is fierce competition. The chart shows the number of games released on Steam. With such competition, quality is what matters. 11-Bit Studios released game This War of Mine at the end of 2014. Since then, everything changed for the small gaming company. The cost of development was covered in the first weekend after the premiere. And since then, the game keeps being one of the top sellers on Steam and other distribution platforms. It is one of the most successful indie titles of the last decade. The company is investing money in new productions, every time bigger and more ambitious. The next big game, Frostpunk, turned out to be an even bigger commercial success. The game was released in April 2018. The budget for Frostpunk was 12 million zlotys, and the revenue from this game is getting to around 100 million zlotys. Another area of the success of the company is being a publisher for smaller developers. 11-Bit Studios helped them to release their indie games. So what next? Frostpunk had just released for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One 2 months ago. It will help the financial results for the fourth quarter of 2019. Then I expect additions to already created games to be published. DLCs for Frostpunk will provide gamers with additional missions. No new game is planned for 2020, but the current portfolio of games should still generate plenty of cash. In 2021, it is expected that we will see the new production of this developer, which is currently called Project 8. The budget for this game is planned to be almost 2 times bigger than for Frostpunk. Until then, I believe it is worth to use deeper market price weaknesses to accumulate the shares. This company is focusing on the quality of the games. They believe in the importance of satisfying gamers, not investors. 11-Bit Studios is not afraid to postpone a release of a new game to have more time for some improvements. The effects? Just check the sales of their games. Plans for the future include having 3 teams of developers working independently on different productions. The last thing which adds to the margin of safety when investing in that company is its cash. The company has almost 10% of its market capitalization covered by cash. As you can see, Facebook and Alphabet just came back to the levels where the companies were some time ago. The Alphabet was very close to the current level in August 2018. In January 2018, the stock price was around $100 less. The Facebook stock price was around $210 in July 2018. The company is still below its last year price. I'm not so bullish as I was before October, but from the longer perspective, we barely moved on the Facebook chart from the level we were almost 1.5 years ago. Both companies are my core positions. Facebook is 18% of my portfolio, and Alphabet consists of 17% of it. Their valuation is still attractive, but I will not increase my exposure to these companies, because these 2 stocks make together more than 1/3 of my stock market portfolio. Let me know if you would be interested to see a more complex analysis of any of these companies. Then there is Chinese behemoth Tencent. It is best known as the company behind WeChat app. Tencent is the company which I am eager to increase my exposure to. I have quite a small position, so there is quite a big chance I would do a Christmas shopping here. CD Projekt is also my choice for December, and probably till Cyberpunk 2077 is to be released. I have been talking about this company not so long ago, so if you want to refresh some information, check this video. There were nice gains for selected companies in the last 2 months, but did these companies achieve their potential? Not in my opinion. As you can see, I have chosen the same companies. As they say, don't change the winning team. I do not try to predict anything. I indicate good long-term choices. If the market reacts positively this month, it is great. If there is a correction, that is even better, as we will all be able to accumulate more shares at lower prices. If there is a more significant correction, I have my target prices set for excellent long-term companies. Additionally, I would be happy to see a correction on Uber stock so that I can get more of it to my portfolio. But let's see if Santa is going to be friendly this year and is preparing nice gifts for investors. I know that my choices are maybe boring, as I do not change too much, but that is what successful investing is. It is not about making many transactions. It should not be exciting. Investing should be more like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, take $800 and go to Las Vegas. If you have bought shares of a great company, you employed the CEO of this company to do his or her job. So then let that person do their job. Wait and see. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe or feel free to add me on Instagram, Stocks and Freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy investing!